Okay, so the pre-release is over, and now it's time for a full Rivals of Ixalan booster unboxing. So I was looking at the prices for this set a minute ago, and I really feel like this is the lowest valued Magic set to come out. And I mean, I don't know, I can't remember some of the weaker sets of the last several years, what their initial prices were, but it seems like every set comes out, overhyped with something $40–50, and they never hold that value, but there's at least that, initial speculation or overhype or whatever. But this set, just right off the bat, I mean, the chase cards seem to be about $12–15, which is really unusual. But anyway, let's see what we get. So we got this guy, Ixalan Seer, a Highland Lake Dual Land, Majestic Helioterrace, and first rare is a Jade Light Ranger, 2/1 for 3, enters the battlefield, you explore and explore again. That's a good card. I think it's worth a whole lot. I mean, nothing in this set seems to be worth a whole lot, but it's a very playable card. This is a Merfolk, and that seems like that's going to be a thing in Standard. Just weird green Merfolks. But anyway, next up we got a Sky Marcher Aspirant, Expel from Orazka, another Helioterrace, and Radiant Destiny, 3 mana, Enchantment Ascend. Enters, you choose a creature type, and then creatures get 1/1, and if you have the City's Blessing, they get Vigilance as well. It seems underwhelming. Like just one of the zillions of white Crusade enchantments. Alright, pack 3, we get another blue-green uncommon duel, Everdawn Champ, Swift Warden, and this guy, Tetzamok Primal Death. I think this guy's kind of cool. 6/6 for 6, Death Touch. You can pay 1, revealing from your hand to put a counter on a creature, and then when you play this guy, you destroy all creatures with that counter. So you have to do that pay ability during your turn, but before you have the mana to cast him, if you have nothing better to do, you can start setting up a big board wipe and get a 6/6 dude in return. It's not terrible. Ixalan Seer, got a Pride of Conquerors, Golden Demise, and what's going on? Why was that there? That's that's supposed to be like that between the rare and the uncommon. It's strange. It's just one of those. What is this? Mark a double face. Oh, it's just one of those like those for those transform cards. Anyway, we got a Path of Metal. This is pretty cool. It's a flip card. It's like a mini Pyroclasm. It comes into play and it pokes everything that doesn't have one of these 4 abilities. And then when you swing with 2 guys with those abilities, you get a land that has a little versatility to it. Red, you can tap it and do 2 to each opponent, and white, you can tap it and kill a random creature that attacked this turn. It gives you mana of any color. It's only 2 mana to play it. I think that's a pretty cool card. I don't know where it will fit in at, but it definitely seems playable. It has a lot going on for 2 mana. And I think the set has a lot of stuff like that. Useful, fun, interesting. You could at least try to do something with it, but just doesn't seem like a lot of people are, too high on it because the value's just not there. But we got a Forerunner of the Legion, Jungle Creeper, another champ, and Release to the Wind. This is a unfocused card. There we go. A blue instant 3. You exile a non-land permanent, and for as long as it's exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. Okay, so play that on your opponent. It wouldn't last very long since they can recast it for free. So I guess that's more for you to save your own thing or flicker it and get its enter the battlefield ability again or something. Alright, we got a Blazing Hope, got a Cherished Hatchling, another Golden Demise, and Silent Gravestone. Man, this camera is not wanting to focus today. So this is a 1 mana artifact, creature, or cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. You can pay for it to exile all cards and draw a card. So just a good little sideboard option. We got a foil, Soul of the Rapids. Soul of the Focuses. Okay. Oh, we haven't hit any mythics yet. I don't know what you would be looking for, that blue-green merfolk chick. None of the planeswalkers are anything to care about. Oh, that phoenix. That phoenix seems pretty cool. So we got a Stormfleet Swashbuckler, a Relentless Raptor. I think that's pretty good. 3/3 for 2 vigilance and has to attack or block each turn. It's not bad. Direfleet Netbreaker and oh, there we go. Immortal Sun. This is a great card. Planeswalkers abilities or their loyalty abilities can't be activated. You draw a card during your draw step, an additional card. All your spells cost 1 less to cast, and all your creatures get +1/+1. 6 mana. I mean, just and absolutely. I don't know why I have this dinosaur by itself. Like, it's awesome. That card is just a commander wet dream. I don't know. I mean, it's so strong. I mean, if you had it in play in any format, it's going to be awesome, but it's 6 mana, so I don't know if it'll see any kind of competitive constructive play, but it's definitely awesome for commander. We got a Thunderherd, Migration, Oathsworn Vampire, another Neckbreaker, and Deep Root Elite. This guy's a 1/1 for 2 merfolk, and when another merfolk enters, you put a 1/1 counter on a target merfolk you control. So that'll probably fit the curve to make it into standard merfolks if that really does become a thing. Alright, now we got a Reckless Rage, Ravenous Chupacabra, a Thrashing Bronodon, and Silverclad Ferocidons. Hey, speaking of Ferocidons, you guys hear about those bannings this morning? Pretty crazy stuff, huh? When this Ferocidon is dealt damage, each opponent sacks a permanent. It's 8/5 for 7. Yeah, I think that one's safe. I don't think that one will be banned in standard anytime soon. You would think at this point in the game that R&D would be so intensive in their playtesting that there would be no such thing as a standard banning. Alas, you would be wrong. Flood of Recollection, Forerunner of the Legion, another Chupacabra, such a fun word to say, and Tenali's Summoner, probably butchering that word. It's a 1/1 for 2 Ascend. When it attacks, you can pay X and a red, and if you do, you get X/1/1 elementals put into play tapped and attacking. And at the beginning of your end step, you have to exile them unless you have the City's Blessing. That's pretty good for 2 mana. I mean, you know, it's a 1/1, so it's probably not going to survive combat too many times to do that, but crapping out a bunch of dudes with your excess mana over and over in red is pretty solid. Okay, now we got a Merfolk Mistbinder. That's really good. 2 mana Merfolk Lord. I mean, geez, that could see play outside of standard. That's really solid. Mausoleum Harpy. I got a Crested Herdcaller. And, oh, cool, Galta Primal Hunger. This is pretty sweet. 12/12 for 12, but its casting cost is reduced by X colorless, where X is the total powers of creatures you control. And, like any good gigantic dinosaur, it has Trample. It's a legend, but I mean, it's 12/12, so it should be. But yeah, that's really solid. I mean, oh, we got a foil common thing that no one cares about. That dinosaur is really good though, because I mean, you could reasonably cast that, you know, especially if you're playing with mana ramp creatures. You know, they're going to reduce its casting cost in 2 different ways, so you could really crap that thing out pretty quick. All right, we got a another Swashbuckler, Hornswoggle, Sadistic Sky Marcher, and Tender Shoot Dryad. That sounds dirty. 5 mana 2/2 Ascend. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get a 1/1 Saproling, and if you get the City's Blessing, you get a 3/3 Saproling because they're all going to get 2/2. That's a card. Sorry, that's just not interesting or exciting or anything. I would want to see that in a sealed pool where I was playing green, but outside of that, not terribly interesting. But this is. Okay, never mind. It's another one of those. Another one of those. We've almost got a place out of that. Another one of those. And a Siegehorn Ceratops. So it's a 2/2 for 2 dinosaur. It's enraged. When it's dealt damage, you put 2 1/1 counters on it. Man, this set really needs like a Prodigal Sorcerer type critter to just sit back and manually poke all your dudes. That also sounds dirty. I could see that thing play just on the off chance that ever happens. I mean, if you get a 4/4 for 2, that's pretty solid. And it doesn't stop there. It can keep growing, but, you know, 2/2 for 2 with some kind of upsides. It's a pretty good little guy. Okay, we got another Flood of Recollection, Baffling End, Oathsworn Vampire, and Paladin of Atonement. So this is a 1/1 for 2. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, put a 1/1 counter on it, and if it dies, you gain that much life. I don't know. It's not super exciting vampire, but I guess it depends on what kind of tribal shenanigans get going. That thing could find a home somehow, somewhere. Let's see. Got the Black-White Uncommon Duel, got a Forerunner of the Empire, another Baffling End, and Induced Amnesia. What does this do? Get it? Fuck it. 3 mana enchantment. When Induced Amnesia enters the battlefield, target player exiles all cards from his or her hand face down, then draws that many cards. And then when this is put into a graveyard, you get those cards back. So, you know, you could play that on yourself or your opponent. I guess if you played it on yourself and you had a way to immediately get rid of it, you could draw a bunch of cards for 3 mana. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Now we get a a Curious Obsession, Sea Red, Golden Demise, and Tomb Robber. So this is a 1/1 for 3, pirate, has menace. You can pay 1, discard, and then make this explore. That's I don't know. I kind of like it and I kind of don't. It's a 1/1 for 3. You got to put some work into making anything happen. Explore is always useful, but it seems more, you know, green oriented. Okay, so now we got a Strength of the Pact. Got a Blazing Hope again, Pirate's Pillage, and oh boy, Form of the Awesome card. Okay, so when this gorgeous valued card comes into play for only 6 mana, your life total becomes 15 at the beginning of your upkeep. It deals 15 damage to a creature an opponent controls, and then that creature deals its power in damage to you. Wow. Isn't that phenomenal? I mean, that card is just so bad. I just can't. I don't know. There's so many cards that aren't inherently good, but they're fun, or you know, you play them in Commander or whatever you do with them. That card's just awful. Not like this Sweet Cherished Hatchling, and then Aquatic Incursion, Pirate's Pillage. Oh man, what the F? Tender Shoot Dryad again, doubling up. Ugh. Usually you won't see a double of a rare in a set, you know, period. But, well, I think this is a smaller set, so I guess it's a little more likely. But that's not a double you want to see, period. That makes me see red. And we got a Raging Regisaur and a Expel from Orazka with Palette. What? Oh my god, like another dupe. I mean, I did just run this set down and talk about how terrible that was, so I guess I put that out in the universe. But man, that's rough. I don't think we've hit anything super good. Already 2 mediocre duplicates. Okay, Reckless Rage, I'm experiencing that. Enter the Unknown, another Regisaur, and Path of Discovery, at least it's different. 4 mana green enchantment. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, gives it. So everything just has Explore. That's pretty cool. 4 mana is a little steep. That would probably be just busted at 3 mana, but it's still pretty cool. Okay, next up, we got another Forerunner, a Jungle Creeper, a Reaver Ambush, and a Twilight Prophet. So this is our second mythic. It's a 4 mana flyer, 2/4. It has Ascend at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have the City's Blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it in your hand. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X, where X is its mana cost. So that is a just insanely powerful ability. I mean, you get a free card every turn, and you get free life gain, and they lose life. I mean, if it's a basic land or something, obviously. But in general, yeah, that's really strong ability. The downside is if you don't have the City's Blessing, it doesn't have any other ability. It's just a 2/4 flyer for 4, which is, you know, barely limited playable. So, I don't know. I guess time will tell them if that sees much play. But a Slippery Scoundrel, a Needletooth Raptor, a Reaver Ambush, and Mastermind's Acquisition. So 4 mana sorcery, and you can choose from 2 tutor effects. One, you just search your library for a card, and the other, you choose a card from outside the game, put it into your hand. It's alright. There's just so many zillions of tutors, it's hard to get super excited about one. I mean, just if that was 3 mana, it'd be a lot more enticing. You got a Pitiless Plunderer, first Silvergill Adept. That's an awesome Merfolk reprint. This guy was like, I think it was like over $10 before they reprinted it, but still really cool. Pride of Conquerors and a land. The Arch of Orozca has Ascend, taps for a colorless, and then you can pay 5 and tap it to draw a card if you have the City's Blessing. Man, that's I don't know. I guess that's alright because it's not going to take up a card slot in your deck, you know, and if it doesn't screw with your mana base, you know, why not put something in there that could potentially draw you just 1 card at some point? So it's alright. You got another Hornswoggle, Daring Buccaneer, Crested Herdcaller again. Ooh, a full rare. Oh, it's that thing. That's probably not an awful foil. I mean, this guy at least be like cool in Commander. You know, the old board wipey dinosaur. I'm not mad at that for a foil. And a regular rare is a Hadana's Climb. It's a blue-green and a colorless. It's an enchantment, and at the beginning of combat, you put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Then, if that creature has 3 or more, you flip this, and it becomes the Winged Temple of Orozca, which taps for mana of any color, or you can pay 3 mana, tap this, and target creature you control gains flying and XX, where X is its power. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a really easy to meet requirement, you know, just pump a dude a few times, and I mean, that could end the game really quick, just getting a big flyer over and doubling its power. Plus those cards just look cool, the art. Alright, Stone Quarry, Stormfleet Sprinter, there's our playset of that. And we got the Temple Altasaur. He's a 3/4 for 5. And if a source would deal damage to another die, prevent all but one. Okay, so this is clearly, you know, good for things with enrage, like that 2/2. You know, about anything's going to eat him up, but now his damage is reduced to 1, so he gets to enrage like crazy and shenanigans ensue. So, I mean, I doubt that'll see a lot of play, but I think that's what it's meant for. Alright, so we got the Forerunner again, another Curious Obsession, another that Forerunner, and the Primal Storm. I saw that everybody seemed to have gotten this at the pre-release, and it was just doing work. So it's a 6/6 for 6, and when it attacks, you exile the top card of each player's library, and then you cast any number of non-land cards exiled that way for free. So this is just a commander beating. I mean, that's awesome. It hits you and all your opponents, and you just throw a million things out for free. Good stats, and look at that. Just sick art. That is so cool. That's really nice. I mean, you have to, you know, then we got some kind of crappy foil. You have to be down with the fun on that one. You know, it's probably not going to see a ton of standard play, but it's just a really cool card. All right, next up, we got another one of these generic duels. Got a Swift Warden, another Forerunner, another That Thing in My Way with Journey to Eternity. So this is a black-green colorless enchantment. It's an aura. When the enchanted creature dies, you return it to the battlefield under your control, and then you return this transform. Okay, so that's already cool because you put it on an opponent's creature and you get that creature. And then you get this, which is the Cave of Eternity. Taps for mana of any color, and you can pay 5 to return target creature card from your graveyard straight to the battlefield. Man, that is really sweet. Like, especially if you have something in your hand to, you know, immediately kill the creature you put this on. That's great. I mean, you get the creature it kills and this in the same, you know, one move. I really like that. I mean, I don't know if it'll see a lot of competitive play, but definitely be fun in Commander. All right, we got that Harpy again, a Siren Reaver, a Needletooth Raptor, and a Direfleet Daredevil. This is a 2/1 first strike for 2. Oh, this is that like weirdo Snapcaster Mage, right? Enters the battlefield, exile target instant sorcery from an opponent's graveyard, and then you can cast it this turn by spending mana of any color, and if you do, you exile it. So, I mean, that's basically what a Snapcaster does just for you, you know, gives an instant sorcery flashback, which is its casting cost, and this thing does casting cost, so it's red, it doesn't have flash, and it hits your opponent, but that's still, I mean, it's 2 mana first strike in red. That's already, you know, bordering on playable. I think that thing may surprise some people and see more play than you're thinking. If those things like bottom out to, you know, $1 a piece or something, I'd probably buy a bunch of those up. All right, so now we got a Highland Lake, Forerunner of the Heralds, Siren Reaver, and some kind of rare merfolk. It's a 2/3 for 4, and whenever a merfolk you control does combat damage to a player, you draw a card. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't see playing standard if standard merfolks become a thing. And it looks like they're all but guaranteed going to. All right, now we got a Sky Marcher, Aspirant, Riverwise Augur, another Silver Gill, that's cool, and Alinda the Dusk Rose, Mythic, 4 mana for a 1/1 lifelink. Well, that's already playable, said no one ever. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on this, okay, and then when this dies, you get X 1/1 vampires, where this, or we're equal to this thing's power. So bigger you beef this up, the more 1/1s you get when it dies. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't know, I just see kind of generic foil, a 4 mana 1/1, and I'm immediately not terribly interested. I mean, obviously that could get out of hand, especially if you have like a free sack outlet where you can just sack stuff at will and it would protect you from a board wipe and blah blah blah, but I don't know. 1/1 for 4. Okay, so Forerunner, Resplendent Griffith, and Bishop of Binding. 1/1 for 4. When it enters, exile target creature and opponent controls until this leaves the battlefield. And whenever this thing attacks, target vampire gets XX, where X is the power of the exiled card. And this is a vampire, so it can at least pump itself. So that's not too bad. And a foil Jade Bearer. Yeah, I mean, that Bishop's, again, I just got done making fun of a 1/1 for 4, and I said that's not that bad, but at least that thing is, you know, immediately impactful. It's going to take away their best dude and start pumping something. That Alinda's going to require a lot more work. But now we got a Legion Lieutenant, another Bronodon, that same Griffith, that card in my way, and Profane Procession. This is a 1 black, 1 colorless, 1 white enchantment. It's legendary. You pay 5, you exile a creature, and if 3 are exiled with this thing, you transform it, and you get this Tomb of that. Hey, it's that chick's grave. Look at that. That's cool. Taps for a mana of any color, and you can pay 4 and tap it to put a creature exiled with this permanent onto the battlefield under your control. Okay, so this one's a little different than the others because the others seem to, just go on indefinitely in their use. But this one you could only use the amount of times it takes to transform it. So 3. Exile 3 or more. Okay, yeah, so in theory, if you had 15 mana open, you could stack its ability and get more things exiled with it before it transforms. But in general, you're going to get 3. And then once you use this 3 times, it's just a land that taps for a mana of any color. So that's still pretty good, though. I mean, recurring exile that gives you back something later. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of that chick herself. It's just, okay. Not the greatest. Alright, we got a Forerunner, another Famished Paladin, Aquatic Incursion, and Kumina's Awakening. This is a 4 mana enchantment with Ascend, and at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card, but if you have the City's Blessing, only you draw a card. That could be fun in Commander. Make everybody happy for a minute, and then make them mad for a long time. And we got 3 packs left. This one has a Pitiless Plunderer, Crappy Duel Paladin, and a Direfleet Poisoner. I like this guy a lot. He's a 2/2 for 2 flash death touch. When he enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate gets 1/1 and gains death touch. So this is just like a bunch of weird, goofy combat trick removal. There's so much going on with this guy. He's a pirate, so you got some tribal stuff. 2/2 for 2. I mean, I don't know. If there's any kind of aggressive black deck or pirates or something, that should definitely see a lot of play. But I don't think it's going to be super valuable. But it's a good card. Alright, so we got an Imperial Ceratops, Deadeye Brawler, a Daring Buccaneer, and a Captain's Hook. 3 mana equipment. Creature gets +2/+0, has menace, and becomes a pirate. And when this becomes unattached, you destroy that thing. So, yeah, this is clearly just for some, like that thing, just super aggressive deck that throws out little cheap pirates, beefs them up, gets some damage in, and if they die, they die. Not super exciting. Alright, last pack. Strength of the pack. God, we need some strength in this pack. Blazing Hope, I've got that too. Deadeye Brawler, here we go. Dead Man's Chest, yeah, it's a 2 mana aura. Alright, it's black. This is sounding good. You put it on an opponent's creature, and when that creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library, and you can cast non-land cards as long as blah, 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 blah. It's kind of fun. I mean, you throw this on a big dude and kill it and play a bunch of stuff for free, and it only costs 2 mana. I mean, but you have to spend the mana. You don't get to play them for free, so that's going to be asking a lot in late game and blah, blah, blah. So much like the bulk of this set, it's kind of cool, but, probably not valuable and not worth a lot. So, God, what did we get? This is just, that's not even a mythic. So we only got 3 mythics. That's pretty silly. Yeah. This is Commander. This will probably be the most valuable card in this set, like, long term. Like, this, they generally don't reprint mythics in the Commander decks. I think this will be safe from being reprinted for a while. I think long term, especially in a foil, that will probably be the highest card in this entire set. But anyway, that's it for this one. See you guys next time.